Good morning, sir. Is your mic muted?
Your cup so I can get you some water.
All right, well, I don't hear you.
What's up, YouTube?
There you are.
That better?
Yeah,
Working now?
yeah. How long were you yelling at everybody?
Quite a bit.
Okay. Take two.
What's up, Mr. Walter Davis? Good morning, sir. Wow, I'm first. What a great day in the apocalypse. Have to put this in my journal. All right. My journal entry says, "Don't be lazy on the weekends after you drink cerveza."
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Well,
Anything?
apparently we extended the whole lockdown. Huh?
Yeah. 2 weeks.
Well, to April 30th, I think he said.
Yep.
So, well, in all actuality, a month, but it was supposed to be only 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Close to.
So here's the original numbers from the other day. Good morning, Walter Davis. Welcome back. Here is the refresh numbers, 722,000.
Mr. Tommy Boy is back at the mailbox.
All right.
Hey, how are you finding all these deals? Nobody else can find them.
Good morning, kitty. So I don't know if you remember, you can't see though. I'll show you later if he's still in here. My garage cat. He's the pimp. So what's going on? Tell us about what's going on there in Arizona, sir.
What's going on in Arizona? Well, Ducey is not shutting down everything. Like, I mean, there are certain things you can't do. Like the restaurants, they're not allowed to have their seating area open, but you can get takeout from that area. So the restaurants are open because he doesn't want to have issues with the economy, which everybody's worried about right now. And I was just watching High Impact Flicks or Logs or whatever. Yeah, he's not too happy about that whole thing either. So I don't know. It's not good, man. It's not good.
So now they're talking about taking away, taking away your money, your $1,000 check or whatever they're going to give you. Says New Yorkers who break distancing rules could face a $500 fine.
Yeah.
So they're already trying to take your money in New York.
In Texas, if you're out after curfew, it's $1,000. God bless Texas.
Everything's bigger than in Texas, though.
Even the fines.
Yeah. See, I don't have a problem with people out driving around. The problem I have is like people going and being coughing, hacking, and people just don't have no fucking manners anymore. Like,
nope.
Like you just don't cover your mouth, nothing. My mom would have beat my ass.
Yeah. But at the same time, man, for me, I don't like any of it because it's all against the Constitution. Like, I know it's a pandemic and all that, but you can't regulate morality or stupidity.
I agree. Well, yeah, because you see what's going on. So let's see here. It says 533,000 infected, 24,084 dead from, I think that's possibly Friday. Because it was the other day's thing, and now it's 722 infected, 33,976 dead. Oh, come on, coffee, cook.
Mm-hmm.
I need my cafefe. Continuity government plans being activated. which we talked about. These were delayed deals from weeks past, says Mr. TV9. The numbers are so low that the quarantine is either really working or we're being taken for fools. I don't know. They got the medical community scared enough to be begging on their personal Facebooks for supplies.
Oh, I
So
do have a. Sorry, go ahead. I do have a text message. We have a medical. Is she a nurse?
Yeah, she's an ER nurse.
So we have a nurse friend
mhm.
that was talking to us about their local issues.
Well, have at it. I'm gonna go over here and brew some cafefe. So you
All right.
tell us all
Very
about
good.
it, sir.
We'll read it here if I can find the.
So just to give a little background, I had texted her, and I had shared some of those links, from New York and stuff, where they're saying that the bodies are piling up and that the mass shortages on supplies and everything. And I said, number one, is the virus real? Number two, do you think that what's happening in New York is real? And number three, what's actually happening here in Arizona?
All right. I just don't want to messenger app is.
Do a search up there at the top.
Yeah.
Well, it's not as bad in rural areas and smaller places for some reason. Probably because we're not all mental retards.
That's in
But
there.
I mean, when you get into large areas, people just do what the hell they want to, anyways. I mean, you can't even get them to respect your I mean, you can't get people to respect your privacy in the country, but just imagine how it is inside the city, where there's no such thing as a boundary. They'll hop your fence and take your stuff anyways. See, out here it's a little different because you get some buckshot put in you. You try that shit out here. Well, you might in the city too, but I don't know. They're saying the rural areas are less harder hit because, well, one, we do farming and we're not around a whole lot of people, but I don't know.
All right, so this is a long message, which
Okay.
is not really easy to read, so I'm going to read it out loud. I mean, it's a little blurry. It's a picture of a text. But this person is saying, yes, supplies are low. My last day at my job, I just left. They were threatening people with disciplinary action if they use N95 masks. They suspended annual fit testing for N95 masks at my old work because of the shortage. At my new job, they are still fit testing, but they send you home with your mask and instructions on how to safely reuse it. I've never seen anything like this. In Arizona, we are still barely testing. You still have to fit a very narrow criteria to get tested. The numbers here are likely much higher than reported because of the lack of testing. I believe the reports about New York. The best thing you can do is stay home, wash your hands. Well, when you do have to go out, I keep Lysol in my car and hand sanitizer for when I go out. I spray down my purse, my shoes, and sanitize my hands and spray down anything I touch before I could sanitize. We can only pray and do our best to isolate and protect those vulnerable. Thankfully, they are Thankfully, they are trialing several treatments. So a lot of treatments are in trial. So I'm hopeful we can save some lives with those. So that's our local buddies report.
So I mean, everybody I talked to is real. You heard some of the conversations I had with the doctor before. I mean, not everybody has, but I have a witness there. We can attest. Poison stinger and riddle girl.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she wasn't like overly panicked, but she wasn't,
Overly
too excited. Too excited what was going on, right? Yeah, she was definitely wanting to go home. So, let's catch up over here in the chats. Walter Davis, there are big asteroids heading our way. Supposed to have one come real close. Maybe a reason to call up the military. So what day is that one supposed to take place? Because last one I think was on the 18th.
If they name it Wormwood, we're in trouble.
It has to be sweet wormwood though, which is not really a wormwood. It's a mugwort, but it's in the same kind of family, but it's in the Artemisia family. And then Mr. TV9 says, this one fed 2 times a day for my 2 100-ounce bars. Their choice of maker, so we'll see what we get. Oh, that's
Hopefully
good.
it's Scottsdale Mint, bro. That's what I'd want. Hope for.
The most expensive, of course.
I don't
Field
know if it's the
hospital.
most expensive, but they're stackable, so it's a little bit easier.
Oh yeah, oh that's the ones that have the raised rim and
Yeah.
like a giant Lego almost.
Almost.
Yeah. Field hospitals set up in Central Park. Dead bodies loaded into refrigerated truck, which we talked about before. But now I guess they're actually having to put them there. Pelosi reps Trump as President fiddles. People are dying. Testing. This is the make or break it week, supposedly. Nurses die. Doctors fall sick. Panic rises on the front lines. Mega churches still packing in crowds. That's a genius fucking way to go. So, yeah. I did a quick video this weekend about doing some planting toilet paper.
People flock to faith when all else fails.
Yeah, well, it also says in the Bible, fellowship. It didn't say to go somewhere and give somebody your money. Fellowship's just is us talking about the Bible. You don't have to be there.
Right?
Churches are so, at least in my neck of the woods, they're so bogus. Everybody there is two-faced.
Oh, yeah, and it's at every church. It's I like to say that the Seventh Adventist churches are a little bit better, but to be honest, it depends on where you go. Just like anywhere else, you got your holier than thous that want to pick out a fleck in your eye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I long since gave up on that and just talking about it back and forth with people because that's the only way to do it in my eyes anymore. Going to some faith-based bullshit church that just wants to tell you what you're doing is wrong or talk trash to you, go to hell. So. I mean, from my perspective, that's the way it is. To me, fellowship is talking about it like with Wes S and stuff. I mean, talking about it to other people, spreading the gospel. Just like I guess what we're doing here, we're trying to spread the information, and you can go back and disseminate whether or not we're full of shit or not. So the field hospital is set up in New York Central Park. The charity Samaritan Purse sets up a field hospital to care for COVID-19 patients in Central Park, New York. It's a U.S.-based Christian Global Relief Agency. Yeah, I'll shoot the link out there. You can check that out if you're interested. Let's see, Walter Davis says, wonder if Joel Osteen got his bunker done on time. He's probably giving tours though, so.
He's probably still broadcasting from that place.
Yeah,
he's from the bunker underground.
Giving tours, probably. The dead bodies refrigerated truck, will shoot that link out there too, so we can get kicked off of YouTube. The Daily Mail, horrifying moment, dead bodies are loaded into refrigerated truck with the forklift outside a Brooklyn hospital as nurses share pictures of coronavirus's victims lined up inside each other. Well, okay, they're going to give me 1,000 friggin' pop-ups, so. Well, yeah, it looks like it. They're loading bodies like you see in the movies. This is for real. This is a Brooklyn hospital. Please, guys, stay inside. And the video stopped. You can
Oh,
check it
man.
out yourself. Oh yeah, yep.
It's one of those things that, like, you stay home and you lost your job, you lost your business, you can't pay your bills, you can't feed your family. This $1,200 still hasn't arrived. You know, I mean, at some point, it's worse than if we did go out and face the coronavirus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think we're getting to that point real fucking quick, to where it's almost like, is it even worth it? You know, maybe the best idea would have been to go out there and get sick and get your immunities to it right away. You know, obviously we didn't have enough medical facilities, but I don't know. It's something that I question.
I don't know. I'm just happy that I've done all the things that I've done.
Yeah.
And that I don't have to really worry about going out if I don't need to. Some of the farmers called me, and they were saying, well, we don't think we don't think we're gonna get it because we work outside, and, we have good stamina, and even though we're older, we don't feel like we're gonna get it. And I was like, well, if it's killing children and it's killing people your age, killing people my kids' age, and I was like, I don't think it's too fucking wise to be out dilly-dallying. Now, you can go out and farm because most of our stuff's in rural areas. You don't have to run into a lot of people that way. And shit, in 2 weeks, you may not even, depending on if you're planting right now. I know some people are planting stuff because they have GMO shit, but, I mean, I'm 4 weeks out from planting actual sprouted plants. So, I mean, you could plant bare root now and stuff like that. But anyways, the point I'm making with is, like, in 2 weeks, it goes by so fast being a farmer that you may not even know it. So why take the chance and go to a big city and try to do stuff that you would normally do to try to
Yeah,
get it?
I
So
mean, for farmers, it's not that hard, but like for your local barbershop owner or any small business owner in the city, what are
yeah,
they
because
gonna do?
they're pulling their water and everything, and I get it, but I mean, is it really worth dying over? That's the question you have to ask yourself.
Well,
Because you could,
they're
uh,
gonna die anyway. I mean, the president even admitted we're gonna probably lose more people to suicide from all this economic problems and people losing their jobs or losing their businesses. We're gonna lose more people to suicide than we would have lost through the coronavirus. So now the cure is more deadly than the symptom or than the disease itself.
you must have watched something this weekend because
Yeah,
I didn't watch anything this weekend. I was busy, man.
no, the
So
latest thing with the president, he admitted that we'll probably have more people dying because of what he's doing than would have died with the coronavirus at the same time. So I don't know. As I said, yeah, that's going to cause homelessness. If you lost your business and now you can't pay your mortgage and you're still waiting on your $1,200 check that may or may not arrive, and when it does, it might be already too damn late. And now you're out on the street, and you've never been out on the street because you've always been a hard worker, but now you can't afford to pay any of your bills. Yeah, I mean, people are gonna start ending their life over that shit, or becoming drug addicts, or becoming homeless. We're going to go into a Great Depression. It's my belief. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor or claim to be one, but it is my belief that this country, we're not going to see the end of this for 20, 30 years. This is going to have ramifications.
Oh yeah,
And
I said the past week or so that this is going to be the Great Depression. You need to fucking go out and plant and stuff and get your shit ready. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
no, you're fine. But that is a great thing if you can. But there's a lot of people that aren't, or whatever. Maybe they could, but you can plan all you want if you can't afford your rent or your mortgage. and you're getting thrown out on the street because the banks are going to buy up all that stuff, where are you going to plant?
I thought they were doing
Canal?
away with all that shit and putting it all on hold, and he put a bill in. I don't remember all the.
They might hold it for a little bit, but I don't know how long. I don't know all the stuff, but I do know that if you can't, yeah, you might be able to put it on hold, but it's not like they're going to forgive it. So you're going to have to pay all that off. How are you going to do that if you no longer have a job or you no longer have your own, your business?
We need to bail out our people, not bail out the big corporations. That's
the bailout works for a little bit, but then the prices of everything goes up.
Yeah. Well, it's always a shit debacle whenever the government steps in to do anything for you. So
All I'm saying though is I think what we're doing to combat it is going to be worse than if we had just went out and shook everybody's hand. Now, for me, I want to stay at home because I'm an at-risk person. Now, as a freedom-loving person as I am, I think anybody should be able to do whatever they want. It is my personal want of doing things, of staying at home as much as possible. I hate staying at home, by the way, and I try to, but it's hard.
Right.
But I need to do it because of my issue. Now, how that affects other people, well, if the other people are out and about as well, it's kind of like catching your priest at a strip club. He can't say anything, about seeing you there because he's also there. So if you go out with the virus and you infect somebody, well, they went outside too,
Mm-hmm.
So both of you risked it, whether you knew which one was infected or not. I don't know. That's a bad analogy, I guess, but hopefully you get my understanding on that.
I know in New Jersey, you can't evict or turn off services for non-payment now. Yeah, it's like that in Indiana too.
When does that stop? And how much are they just going to forgive it?
In 6 months.
I doubt it. They're not going to forgive it. So you're going to have 6 months worth of bills that you got to pay, and they're going to have a time frame when you have to pay it. But you don't have a job now. You don't have a business anymore. Now what? You can't find a new job because everybody's out of work and everybody's looking. And look at our unemployment right now. You have record high unemployment right now. There's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to be able to pay off these things when they come due. Yeah, you're not getting evicted right now. You wait 6 months. That's the scary part.
So I guess this goes back into there might be some Allen wrench.
Hey, good call.
Was it what it was? That's what it sounded like.
It was an Allen wrench.
The double ting, ding, ding. But
like Rain Man over here, that was 35 cents.
So, I mean, they were talking about a lot of this stuff, so it makes you wonder how much of this they knew was going to come here or not before they launched all this shit, because they're saying most Americans don't have $500 in their bank account. I mean, there's a lot of stuff leading up to this, like they've been telling you need 2 to 3 weeks of food, blah, 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 blah. Everybody needs to be a prepper, blah, 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 blah. So I wonder how much of this is actually known.
Maybe they said that low key, but they're more worried about pushing gender equality in the government. They're more worried about that shit than they are doing anything else. I mean, shit.
Well, that's what's the hot topic right now. That's the hot topic for all the congressmen and senators
and don't
to get reelected.
The government practices what they preach was saving. They couldn't even save N95 masks, let alone their idea of saving money is printing more of it.
Yeah, well, that's a fucked up, screwed up system that we can never fix.
So anything the Fed tells me or anybody else, I think they all tell them to go pound sand because they're a bunch of fucking hypocrites, bro.
Yeah, they need to end the Fed. It's been a long time thing. That's something I agree with Rand Paul and Ron Paul about. So
I don't think you'll ever do it, though. They're too good luck.
They're too embedded. They're like the Clintons. They're like the cockroach of
They run this country. The United States is not a country. It is a corporation.
Well, yeah, that's why it's working out so well with Trump, though.
Mhm.
It's because he's a corporate man. So,
That's right.
but the only problem with that is the reason why we're making great strides and gains with, making great strides and gains with him is because he is a corporate man, right? He's not a puppet, so he can't be bought out by the big corporates, who were lining all the other presidents' pockets. But anyway, so I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Walter Davis, tell us about how it is in your area today. And you too, Mr. TV9. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Got off the reins immediately.
Oh yeah, I got on a hot topic for myself. I mean, I get all passionate.
I want to know how you guys are doing. So I'm just going to go through here and check out what's going on. Amazon sent me a reminder that my auto delivery will be shipped. So anything that you have on auto delivery, like I told you before, will come, whether or not it's in stock for everyone else.
Yeah, we just did some more of that ourselves. I forget on what. What did we do on auto delivery, hon? Clorox wipes.
Okay. Trump administration designates firearms industry as essential business. So the firearms industry is going to remain open, even though some states are saying no, we're not going to. They're not essential. So they
Well,
did.
the thing is, now even in those states, the gun stores can stay open, and I mean, what are they gonna do? They can sue the state and say no because the federal government said no, I can stay open. So you had so many lawsuits, like the California stuff. Their gun stores are open right now because of the fact that when they did that or tried to do that, everybody, including the NRA, surprisingly, sued them all at the same damn time. It was hilarious.
So Outdoor Easy, I don't know who he is or she is, commented on one of my videos from way back in the day about my pocket fishing kit. It says you clickbait the thumbnail because it's a picture of a attractive woman who has been painted into dress blues. I don't know about Outdoor Easy, but you can check him out or her. Superfly fat guy from back in the day. Remember him, Superfly fat guy, 859.
Oh my god, yeah, he's the one that started Fat Food.
Yeah, he commented, "I go pocket fishing all the time. Laugh out loud, and there's always happy ending. Laugh my ass off." So one of my videos from back five years ago got a comment from some guy saying I was clickbaiting it, but apparently he didn't know how YouTube worked back then. You could put whatever you wanted to on there without being kicked off.
Still can, well, almost.
Well, like you really have to click on the pictures to see. Walter
Yeah,
Davis.
look at Ebomi. Look at the Ebomi's beer review channel, man.
Yeah, or just Jim. Jim gets kicked off all the time for Hornet Fixer. Nothing going on here, but no rain today. Well, that's a plus. I don't think we have any rain in the forecast today, but it's rained the past 2 days here. Still social distancing, and not a very real shutdown. Could be doing much better, says Mr. TB9.
I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully the gold and silver will make up for it.
Walter Davis says, yeah, but in Cali, by the time waiting period is over, the plague already ended. Saying, yeah.
Yeah, they still have to wait the 10-day waiting period, I'm sure.
So I haven't checked, but our local gun stores are still up and running. There's a few that shut down, but they're smaller rural gun stores.
Yeah.
But some of them are still open. So
yeah, I ventured into a gun store just 2 days ago. I picked up 100 rounds of 45 ACP.
Because he had to go shoot them out of his new pistol that he got for his birthday.
That was fun, man. I can't wait. If anybody's interested, I'll probably have a video on that in a few days. I shot it all, but got home, I was so damn tired. That took a lot out of me. So I got to work on it.
Because it's 110 in the desert.
That
And you
wasn't too
probably
bad.
didn't drink a whole lot of water before you went.
Oh, dude, we brought gallons of water with us. Come on, man.
To drink or shoot?
To drink. I've
So
captured all my bullets that I want to capture.
okay. So we take all the skunk beer that is left over that we usually give to unwanted guests, and we shoot it. We call it friend beer here. So we leave it. We have a cooler full of friend beer, and then we have a
I will
cooler full
remember
of.
not to drink your beer.
Oh no. Friend beer is for people that show up unannounced and want to drink all your beer. I know you know people like that.
Well, I don't really, because I don't associate with people like that.
Okay. Well, let's put it to you this way: if someone knows, like, if someone smells you're having a barbecue,
Yeah.
motherfuckers will migrate towards your house, or if they just have a sense that someone pulled in your driveway that shouldn't be there, they all want to migrate towards your house.
That's when you know you're too friendly of a person. I don't have that issue because I don't like anybody.
Well, without giving details, like we usually have some random show up,
Right.
and
And you
so
allow it. That's your problem right now. You gotta stop that shit.
well, because we're social distancing, so we're not doing that now because I don't want to
Right.
pay my $500 fine. But yeah, so usually there's some uninvited guests that show up, so and they don't get the regular beer, they get the friend beer. So
Hey,
because
they
I don't
should
want
be
them to be
happy
here.
to get any kind of beer.
Oh, you don't want the friend beer.
No.
We've
Is
had
it
some
like
friend beer sitting
O'Doul's
around.
or some shit?
No, friend beer's been sitting around for I don't know a year, 6 months. Heated
Oh.
up, cooled down. It's not friendly. It's not friendly. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, but that's what happens when you show up uninvited. You get the friend beer. Unless you're not, you unintentionally showed up, but you didn't come to mooch. So if you come to mooch, yeah.
Yeah, but what if you have a moocher and a non-moocher at the same time? You get one of them. Hopefully, it's the same brand, I guess. Huh?
Well, yeah, mostly it is. I only like to partake in Corona,
There
so
you go. I love the Corona.
not the virus variety. So
Yeah, no, Corona is my favorite beer back in the day. Although I
with
like a little kilt lifter right now.
oh yeah. Well, I'll drink a lot of things, but usually if we're having a party, the cheapest way to go is to buy the Corona. Woo.
That's the cheapest way to go? Shit, dude, I thought that shit was expensive compared to like Bud Light.
No, well, I don't know how much Bud Light is. I won't drink that shit.
I don't drink enough.
I'd rather drink water out of the toilet than drink Bud Light or Budweiser or any of that shit. I've never had good luck with that. It always ends in a bad fucking headache.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Welcome to being on camera, bro.
Yeah, I forgot I didn't have it turned on. I'm running around doing all kinds of stuff while I'm talking to you.
Oh, you got your little, what do you call that? A barrel shroud?
This is a Gemtech threaded G5 5.56 millimeter airsoft silencer or inert
Yeah.
silencer. Doo-doo-doo.
Nice.
It is threaded for 5.56, but it is purchasable from Gemtech as a inert silencer for the 5.56.
This looks cool.
Right? It's a good paperweight, and it's something I can show you because it is very similar to what you would purchase if you were going to purchase a actual silencer, but it is not a silencer. It is a through tube design.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's something we should talk about. What are you gonna do with your refund check or whatever you want to call it? In my opinion, people need to be putting that into something tangible.
Damn headache. Do you have mint? Can you have mint tea? Or I do mint tea that I make my own, or from my mint plants, or green tea. Our doctor friend told us that Tylenol, a baby aspirin. Shit. My wife wrote it down. But anyways, and then caffeine is what the migraine medicine, that ibuprofen has a shit. What's this stuff called? They took it off the shelf because the formula was screwed up.
Oh, dude, I don't know.
It was the migraine medicine that my wife uses. But anyways, let me see if I got this damn thing.
All I know is Tylenol and ibuprofen.
Well, you're not supposed to take ibuprofen now because it causes you to. They also came out and said elderberry, not to take elderberry.
Really?
And I'm like, come on, you mean to tell you can't patent it, so now we can't take it?
Right.
The quinanolone or whatever the fuck it is, the quinanolone. You can't patent that either because it's also artemisia. It's sweet Annie mugwort, but they're trying to say that now that elderberry helps the virus, which okay, whatever.
Mm.
Give me a break. That shit. My doctor. You heard the doctor. I played the video for you. The doctor said to take it.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you can't patent it, they'll have to come out with some kind of patented version before they.
That's why they make pills. Most of what's in pills are just natural shit that they just put in pill form.
Well, yeah. If you go to a place that does, there's full of botanicals. Why? Because they're trying to take the botanical and put it in synthetic form and then patent it and sell it to you because people are too fucking lazy to go buy the herb fucking garden book that tells you what's. I just found a new one the other day too that I was digging through my shelf. Anyways, let me try to find this. What am I going to do with my check? Well, I keep telling everybody I'm going to buy hookers and blow, but because that's putting money back into the economy. Because our hookers are out of work right now too, and so are our cocaine dealers.
All right. Well, some of them are delivering food.
Oh yeah, Boober Eats. Yeah, I forgot about that. But those aren't really hookers. Those are just chicks trying to get through college.
Oh, everybody's a hooker for the right price, bro. Come on.
Yeah, well, that's what I said the day we watched that video. I was like, yeah, that they're for that extra 50, they'll be popping that taco down for you.
Mr. Tommy Boy hasn't seen any videos of people dropping the streets yet. Well, you should check out the link that Irish put up about them loading bodies in a, what was it? Was it an ambulance? I forget.
A reefer truck.
Yeah.
They call them reefers. They're a refrigerated truck. They have the 3-cylinder diesel motor on the back that runs a refrigeration unit. And that's all a reefer truck is. I mean, I don't know. Some people drive truck, but when you haul meat off, you have to have it in a reefer truck, unless it's on the hoof. Man, I'm trying to find this. The doctor told us, and I put it all in here. It was that night I sent you when we were at the emergency department, but I don't know if I sent it to you too, or because we had to go to the emergency department, but this is before the coronavirus testing.
Right.
My wife had some kind of virus, but they didn't know what kind it was. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go way back. Damn. But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably rat hole mine or put it against my daughter's trip since she wants to go to Europe for her senior trip.
Yeah, I haven't decided what I'm gonna do, but it's gonna be something hard asset. It's either gonna be precious metals or it's gonna other types of precious metals. I guess.
Right. Right.
But I'm not gonna hold on to it and squirrel it away though, or even worry about paying bills with it because, well, right now we're lucky enough to where the wife's working from home. But I mean, you talk about, I really do think that as soon as that hits, we're going to see massive inflation in the next few weeks afterwards. Yeah, you get $1,200, but now when you go to get bread, it's like $10 a loaf. It's just not it's not sustainable. What we're doing as a country is not sustainable. And it's the whole reason why we should have never had a Fed in the first place and gone off the gold standard. But
and I'll be selling these little blocks right here for $800 an ounce. So, or $800 a brick. So if you need any of these, yeah. And
It's
these are
almost an
hard
ounce, right?
coat. No, this is actually probably over an ounce. Actually, let me check it here. So if anybody was interested, I'll be selling that, or I'll give it to you free, depending on how close you get.
30 grains at a time. 50 something, yeah.
So here I have my little. No, this is not a drug scale. If you look real close, it's covered in composite jizz. But we'll check out and see how much this weighs. I still did not find the formula that the doctor gave me. Because unfortunately, my wife texts me a million times a minute. That's in
Got a lot to
grams,
talk about.
426 grams. Let's see what it is in ounces. Tear. Oh, shit, 15.3 ounces. So that's $100 an ounce. That's what we'll be selling this for.
How's
So
that 15 ounces, bro? I think your scale's off, man.
No, it's not. It's lead, bro.
Yeah, I know what it is.
15.03 ounces. Would you like me to do it in Troy?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Why? I don't know why I was thinking it was it. Yeah, it's 1 bar is like a pound. Never mind.
It's 13.72 ounces
So
Troy.
16 ounces is a pound. So those are usually 1 pound bars. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost a.
It's
So,
almost a pound.
I mean,
I don't know why. Dude, I deal with it all the time, but I'm so like enthralled with silver lately, I think, that I'm like, oh yeah, it's just an ounce. It's not an ounce. Oh my goodness, I feel stupid. Yeah, no, I have a few of those too.
Wait, no, that was lead, not
Yeah, I know.
silver. Okay.
I know, but in my head, I'm still in the whole an ounce is whatever. So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
just a brain fart on my part.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm tracking.
Yeah.
I helped a friend load bodies into a crematory and went on body runs up in Michigan. When was that, Mr. TV9? They actually move. That's how they move the bodies in trucks. Yeah, of course. Whenever there's a large body count, that's how they move them in a reefer truck. Because if you don't put them in Mexico, that was the big thing. They're just driving around with them because there's and it's from the cartels putting people down, not from the virus. So they were having a problem with these refrigerator trucks just sitting in the community because people found out what they were, and it's just they couldn't process the bodies fast enough, so they were putting them in the reefer trucks and driving around Mexico City.
Nice. Probably charging them per mile like Uber does.
Mr. TV9 said it was 10 years ago. So in big cities, there are always big body counts. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's not from the gunshots, it's from, other diseases. And that's why the rural communities are not hard hit as much as they are there. Which you can mitigate your risks by not going to truck stops. I mean, everybody's going to truck stops,
Yeah, but that's where the lot lizards hang out, bro. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't care. I didn't go
to truck stops.
But the truck stops, is where the truckers come from. Like most places, that you see now, have implemented. You can't touch anything. You can't the old doors where you can open it up and get the food out or your donuts or whatever. Now you have to have an employee get it for you and stuff. But did you hear Riddle Girl coughing?
No, yeah. I don't care. We'll die together.
But if you think about it, where's everyone from the interstate go to, right? Mostly they stop at truck stops. So that would be an area that you would want to avoid, right? Having said that, that's where I go because that's where the cheap gas is that I sent Poison Stinger a picture of. He was not impressed.
No,
he was not impressed. Yes.
We still have $2.64 gas, so that's you.
Riddle Girl is very upset. If I sent you a picture of the gas cans that I filled up, you would probably be even more pissed off.
We want to get like one of those tanks like my grandparents had in Idaho, where it's like got to be at
55
least
gallon?
500 gallons. Yeah, no, 50, at least 500 gallons.
Oh shit!
It was like well, they were ranchers, right? So and they
Okay.
lived out in the middle of nowhere, so you had to be able to do your tractors or whatever your equipment is. So they would have basically a semi truck dump all of its gasoline into this thing once in a while or whatever. But yeah, that's what I wish I had right about now to stock up. To be honest. Well, not here, but somewhere.
Well, there's a limit on gas, but diesel is not. There's not. There's a limit on diesel that you can have on property for insurance purposes, but I think it's only 55 gallons of gas at one time in one.
Well, that must depend on where you're at, because I think they still have that up in Idaho.
Yeah, for insurance purposes though, like you can have like diesel doesn't burn like gas, so you can only have here. I'm pretty sure it's 55 gallons of gas in one of those elevated tanks, but I think you can have up to 500 of diesel.
The thing is, gas don't burn, bro.
The vapor does, right?
Exactly. So
but
as
it's
long
more
as you
explosive.
don't have vapors in your tank, you're fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to look again at my insurance. So my
I don't
wife's
pretend to know that much either. I just know that they have that and they utilized it last time I was there, but that was a few years back.
yeah. It's different states, different strokes, different folks. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying you're lying on any means, because like it could be different depending on how far you are out too. So, be back, says Walter Davis. Does anyone want to donate 10 acres to the Stinger family? Any freedom-loving state is fine.
Yeah, so California is a no-go.
Well, I tell you what, Riddle Girl, promote my farm on GoFundMe and get people to fund me, and I will graciously donate you a 10-acre plot that you can shoot shit and blow stuff up on all day, every day.
Okay.
I've already donated too, so we're already got a head start.
It'll be across the road from the main farm where everybody else is going to be at, but I will be more than happy to give you your little fair share of land in Tennessee land. We're not going to tell people where it's at here, but
we've been wanting to go to Tennessee anyway.
So the wife sent me this. I can show that. Well, no, I can show you because then you know her name. It says she sends me these things and she's like, "Can you concoct this?" So it's a baguette. Okay, the top of the baguette, and it's a what do they call those? It's not a meme. It's a animation of how she wants the sandwich made.
A gift?
I guess. Here, let me. Can I click out of her name? Yeah. Okay. Look. So it's an animation. It's a baguette, basil, prosciutto, some kind of cheese, tomato, and the bottom of the baguette.
It looks like a fucking thing you get at Jimmy John's ordering online.
No, it's just, but it's all moving. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's weird. Why is it moving?
And it has lines and shit. I'm like, where do you get this shit from? Cheese. It doesn't say what kind of cheese, which is I know which kind of cheese she likes, but
that looks like Swiss.
Yeah, exactly, right. But I always ask because you never know. She might have changed it up on me because she likes Asiago and all the kinds of other shit. Because she's Italian, so go figure, right? Let me ask you this: if you ask the wife their poison stinger, where do you want to eat at? Does she give you a choice, or does she tell you to choose?
Depends. It depends.
9 times out of 10, she couldn't make a decision to save her life. And then, if I make a decision, she's like, well, that's not what I was wanting.
Exactly. Amen. Preach on, brother. Preach on. Preach on.
Well, if it's not what you wanted, maybe you should have come up with a damn place in the first place. Man.
And
why
I'm
are you even asking me that? Because I wanted to see if you wanted the same thing I wanted.
No.
Man.
No. And you could choose the restaurant they want to go to, but if they didn't choose it, then no. Yeah. Because I'm like, what would you like to eat, honey? And I have millions of text messages that I can prove this.
I
Uh,
don't know, married men. I think this is a thing.
yeah. I was like, well, what do you want? Pancakes, sandwich, Chinese, Mexican, chicken, no particular order. What do you want, honey? That's what she replies back to me. I'm like, I don't know, you choose. No, let's go. You choose. And I'm like, no, you choose.
It's a trap, man. Don't fall in it.
I don't give. Look, she says that I bitch because I can't eat at certain places, right? Well, I can usually find something that I can eat,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't like to eat out. So, like, if we go to a fast food joint, I prefer Arby's or Taco Bell
Oh my God,
because
you're my husband. What the hell?
well, Arby's I can get a salad and a roast beef, and I don't have to eat the bread, so I can eat the roast beef sandwich without the sandwich part,
Oh yeah, I
and then I
love
can
the.
yeah, and I can eat the salad, right? Or at
Why
Taco
is it
Bell,
their roast beef? It's better than any other roast beef in this planet.
that is only
It
Arby's
it doesn't taste the same as regular roast beef. When I had regular roast beef for the first time, I was like, "What the fuck is this? This isn't roast beef."
because it's not slow roasted.
Yeah.
Ever since I worked there as a child, and I had to bake the roast beef for 8 hours. Yeah, no, like we'll put it. If I remember correctly, we'd put the roast beef in for the next day. We put it in at the night before.
Wow.
So it would sit in the oven all night, and they may not do that anymore, but it still has the same flavor these days as it did back then. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming they do. Yeah, and here's some more text messages. What do you want for foods? I was like, I don't know. I have 2 orders to fill right now. Why don't you figure out what you would like to eat? Oh, and then she replies back, what do you want? And I said, I don't care. And she said, of course. Laugh out loud. Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
she
you
That's
is.
going?
because you guys say you don't care, but then when we serve up something you don't want, you bitch about it.
Oh no, I only thing I look. I'll tell her right now. My wife knows that I do not like pasta. I am anti-pasta. She loves pasta because she's a
You
fucking Italian
so
pasta head. But I other than that, like I tell her, if you're going to make pasta and sausage or any kind of pasta dish, whatever the meat is, make me some and leave it separate so I don't have to eat the pasta.
I
That's it.
like pasta. I only like certain types of pasta. I don't like Italian pasta because it's all the same, different shapes. If I
Well,
want pasta, it's either macaroni and cheese or it's like linguine or was it the Chinese noodles?
yeah.
Yeah, that's the noodles of my choice. Other than that, oh, SpaghettiOs.
is
I
that
do like
pasta?
some SpaghettiOs.
Those are disgusting.
Is that even
I don't know
pasta?
how you eat that shit.
I eat it straight out of the can. That's exactly how I
It's
eat it.
disgusting.
Don't need it heated up or nothing. Room temp is perfect. Yeah.
All right, so I found the formula.
Okay.
200 milligrams of aspirin, ibuprofen, 6 to 800, Tylenol, and a soda is what Excedrin migraine formula from my doctor, the emergency doctor that you heard me talking to. So,
Do they have their own migraine medicine pack?
well, Excedrin used to make migraine,
Yeah.
and then for some reason the formula was screwed up or something. So
Hmm.
they took it off the shelf, and it worked phenomenal for my wife's headaches, for her migraine headaches. So the doctor that we talked to.
So now she has even more of an excuse for those fountain drinks.
Yeah. Which that's another phenomenal thing. Like, go check it out. Their thing is super awesome now. It's super clean. Like you could drink from the fountain, put your lip underneath there, and drink it.
Yeah, and then the next you probably get 5 years in jail for doing shit like that.
No, yeah, but I'm saying you have never seen drink fountains this clean before.
Right.
Does anyone? Yeah, okay. So we talked about that. But yeah, 200 milligrams of aspirin, ibuprofen, Tylenol, and a soda with high caffeine. If you're interested, that's the Excedrin migraine formula from my doctor, who used to be a Navy doctor, and now he's an ER doctor. So, yeah. Anybody else out there in YouTube land have a similar formula? Please share it.
For headaches, I don't know.
If you have migraines and you don't have any aspirin or Tylenol or any of your Imitrex or whatever, make chili pepper tea. You take red chili pepper flakes and steep it in hot water for 3 minutes. Scoop out all the chili pepper flakes if you don't like them and drink that. And that will get rid of your migraine or at least tone it down so that you don't kill yourself and drill a hole in your head. I know this because I've done it many times. Not drilling the hole in my head, but drinking the tea for migraine.
Oh, I've wanted to drill the hole in the head many a times.
Yeah, when Uncle Fester's headache cure starts to look promising, you know it's bad.
I don't know why that's not coming up right, but
Mother Earth News sent an email saying lockdown guarding through the coronavirus. Are you self-isolating or in lockdown because of COVID-19? Join the club. With the right mindset in our gardens, we'll get through this. So there's something.
yeah, I mean, I've been preaching that. Mother Earth News. I'm glad that somebody signed up.
Yeah.
If nothing else, to just get the emails. There's a lot of good articles on there for free. I get their print catalogs. I also buy their thumb drives whenever they come out because it has all the old issues of Mother Earth News. So if you're interested in that, motherearthnews.com.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting email. I wouldn't say it's an article, but
Well, it's the original guide to living wisely. So I mean,
you can, and you're all right financially. It's definitely something I would suggest. If you're losing your business or your job, I don't know. It's kind of hard to garden in the local underpass. At that point, I guess I'd invest in cardboard and Sharpies because you're going to be writing signs.
well, I mean, if you can find a quarter of an acre, 60 feet wide, or what was it, 60 feet wide by 660 feet long. If you can find that area of land, then you can find a place to grow enough food to feed 4 people. So,
Well, as I said, some can, but some can't. There are some situations that you could, people aren't just not going to have it. I'm lucky enough that I could, do a little bit, not enough to sustain the family completely, but some. But some people's situations, I could understand it'd be a lot harder to do. Just because of the way they're now. I mean, that we can preach all we want, like, well, you should have a place with land and you should do this and that, but that's not their situation right now, right? They're either living in an apartment or they're going to be evicted from an apartment as soon as this thing blows over and they can't fucking pay their rent. So there's that. One side note, when we were going out to shoot this weekend, we saw a lot of people in RVs out in the desert that I think we're more than just camping out there.
yeah, the movement of people from the cities. I was just making that comment to my sheriff's buddy, deputy, the other day. If you go to your rural Walmarts at nighttime, you'll see numerous campers that are people are moving away from big cities. I've seen some from New York. I've seen some from Illinois, Chicago area stuff. So all the big major cities, people that had the means to bug out are making that move. Where they're going, I don't know, but you can go to your rural Walmarts that are off major highways and just drive around and look in the middle of the night.
Yeah, there's a lot that are parked in the parking lot, but these were set up out in the desert where it was basically open land. People go shoot and people go trail riding on their bikes and shit, right? And here I see these RVs that You know, they could probably get up and move if they needed to, if somebody told them to get off. But it's public land, and they're basically just squatting there. I'm like, man, that's an idea. If I can come up with a way to haul my reloading room with me, I might just do that. I mean, I already know how to work a solar. I know about
Right.
satellite internet. I know about water stuff. I mean, I probably wouldn't be able to set up a rain catchment, but probably just need about a 500-gallon tank of water that I could easily haul with a truck. And then we can just go wherever we want. I mean, an RV is about the same as amount as a house. So, when we get our credit where we want, which we're working on, then we can either think about, getting a house or getting something a little bit more mobile where we could go wherever we want when we want, which would be kind of nice since we don't have anything tying us down here, to be honest.
Right. Well, I don't know if you remember, what's his name? He goes by Lowbuck Prepper now, but
Oh yeah.
he used to come in our chats back in the day. He does that now. He lives in a mobile vehicle, so
yeah, he doesn't go by Lowbuck anymore either. Me and my wife just had that discussion the other day because she's like, "Who's that living in her van?" Because I don't really watch his videos, but I am subscribed to him. And I was telling her that it used to be Lowbuck Prepper, Bubba's Van Life.
Yeah. Lowbuck Prepper was his name back in the day.
Yeah. Bubba's Van Life.
So Walter Davis had to go get undercoating for the car repair because he's repairing the shock tower, if I remember correctly. Ran to Walmart to check it out. Aside from not many shoppers seemed well stocked. It's insurance that limits how much fuel. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's at least the way it is here. We're allowed to have 55 gallons of gasoline on the tank that's raised that we have in the side yard. And then we're allowed to have, I think, 110 or 150 gallons of diesel.
I don't know. Is insurance really worth it? Wouldn't it just be easier to take that money that you're paying insurance and put that into the ground and just use that for your payout? Because I mean, it's not like you're gonna nickel and dime yourself to get out of a claim, whereas they're gonna do that shit if something happens to your land.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, the problem with that is you have to have so many insurances that you can't, like, it would be phenomenal. Like per car, I think you have to have $225,000 to maintain your own insurance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that whole
and you can't borrow from it.
Mandatory shit is fucking unconstitutional as all hell.
Yeah, you can't borrow from it or anything. So I mean, is it worth it? Yes, because I have 10 cars.
Here in Arizona, if you own your vehicle outright, you don't have to have insurance at all.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Now, if you get busted because you were a dick and you hit somebody you weren't supposed to and it's your fault, then you're on the hook. It's your responsibility. But yeah, it's not a mandatory thing as long as you own your car.
Walter Davis says, and all the friend beer. I mean, inevitably you'll have people show up that you didn't want.
I've never had anybody show up to my barbecues. Maybe it just doesn't smell good enough.
Well, I'm saying, like, my kids will bring their friends over, and I'm like, no. I mean, you get some 22-year-old punks over here that just show up with your kid, and it's inevitable. It is inevitable. My brother being one of the people that was on the receiving end of the friend beer many a times because he is, like mooch. Like, he shows up and all he wants to do is drink all your beer. So I have to have a separate cooler, and we make a few craft beers from occasion. So like we'll share that, but
I'd definitely be interested in that. I'm not a big beer drinker. If I went to your house, I'd probably have like a beer. but I would definitely try craft beer. I'm always interested in homemade shit.
So whenever like we have a party, you know, if you're invited, if you show up unexpectedly empty-handed, then you're gonna get the friend beer. Let me clarify that. I'm not just gonna be a douche. And if you show up and you're
But you won't
invited,
know if it tastes like donkey piss. It's the friend beer.
to put it in perspective, so my brother shows up one time unannounced, and he will drink anything. He drank an entire, I'd probably say at least 30 beers from the friend beer container, and then calls my mother, God rest her soul, and tells her that I poisoned him with pizza that we bought from Papa John's or something. But it wasn't that. Oh no, that time. Hold on. But that time he drank the beer without asking, and so he didn't know that it was friend beer. But he got sick off of it. But he also drank 3 bottles of vodka that he wasn't supposed to have.
Oh,
So yeah, it was just a funny experience. You know, you have to see my brother. He's a lot better now. He's not into all the drugs and shit now. He's kicked that habit. So, but
we got
yeah.
stupid shit when we were younger.
Oh
It's
no,
like
he
no
was 30.
pressure.
He was about 30.
Yeah.
It took him a few years to catch on that you can't be a complete jackass. You know, now he's got his own, he's got his own life, and he's got a good life now, and he has a car and a bank account, and you know, yeah, he runs his own business. So
Well, there you
yeah,
go.
but he
Hope
was a
he does
dipshit back
well
in.
after all this shit.
He was a dipshit back in. Oh, he's a hustler. Like, you know, we grew up poor, so in a rural area. So there you go. If
Right.
that tells you anything, we know how to survive.
Country boy can survive.
I don't like saying that because I'm not really. I mean, I don't consider something my country boy. I don't.
You ain't in the city. You out in the country, bro.
Yeah, but there's deeper country than where I live, so.
Yeah. Doesn't mean it ain't though.
Oh, yep. Here's a good article. Farmers are key to keeping the nation fed as we worry of the virus spread. Well, yeah, no shit. Because we can't get our food from China no more.
All
That
right.
was a big thing going around, too, whenever this all popped off. Costco got most of their foods from China. Because why? It's cheaper there.
Well, I'm kind of glad I never shot to Costco now. Holy shit. I didn't know that.
Well, and it's a lot of the prepared foods. Like the stuff that you get to take home and it's already in the little plastic
Right.
trays and stuff. Like, I just imagine how the hell do we get, like, how does that make any sense logistically?
Logistically, no. Financially, yes, for them. I mean, when they're buying, it's basically slave labor. You know?
Right, I get it. Like, but still, to the point of, is it like how it doesn't make money wise? It doesn't make any sense either, because you can't be saving 3 cents after you've had to buy refrigerated foods from China, have them shipped over here, and then transport them all throughout the country whenever you could just buy it from locally. And I mean, it doesn't make any sense. The fresher the food, you'd think, but hey, I don't know.
Dude, there's so many preservatives in our food nowadays.
Yeah. I follow. Like bread, for example. Bread is only like 5 ingredients, but if you look on the back of a package of bread, there's 500 ingredients on it.
That's right. And if you take a McDonald's piece of bread, it won't ever fucking mold. You put that shit out in the outside for a month, and there will never grow any mold on it at all. I think
I
they
know the
did that
hamburger
over.
won't break down.
Yeah, I think they did that like what was it, over a year or two,
Yeah,
and the bread was still just the same. It was a little crusty, but it wasn't molded at all.
yeah, I don't think so. No.
That's some shit, man. I don't trust food that doesn't break down. But I don't eat at McDonald's anymore. I haven't in a long time.
Well, I try to after I found out they were growing chicken nuggets in a lab,
Mm.
that was pretty much the end of it, because that was the only thing that I ever would like to eat from there was a chicken nugget, because
Oh yeah, the chicken nuggets are good, but you know,
are
even then, even though it's supposedly white meat, it's still mostly gelatin that they blend up, and then like I don't know what the actual percentage is, but I think it's pretty. I think it's under 50% of actual meat, and the rest of it's just the gelatin that puts it all congealed back together into that shape.
so people are taking extreme measures to quarantine people. It seems like in Maine, armed vigilantes on Maine Island cut down a tree and use it as a roadblock to quarantine 3 men from New Jersey.
Wow.
That's fantabulous. So we're self-quarantining you. Vigilantes, they said. Vigilantes. I'll post that article up.
Isn't that just government agents without a uniform?
Yeah, I mean, it could be your local neighborhood watch.
None of their business to do that shit, though.
Rhode Island police are hunting down New Yorkers that are seeking refuge.
Oh, I heard about that one.
Florida state border checkpoints are being in place, so you can't go to Florida now because they're putting up roadblocks, and if you don't have a Florida ID, I guess you're not going to get into Florida.
Oh,
Florida.
it's all right. I don't want to go into Florida anyway. But still, there's some draconian shit, man.
Hearing a stupid loud noise in the washing machine.
Mm.
What was that?
I hadn't had a chance to go through all my pockets yet.
Uh-oh.
I thought.
Oh, you missed one.
Did you clean the Spyderco?
No, Spyderco is probably safe. You took out the Spyderco.
I took out the knife and the wallet. But yeah, I didn't see the comb. Sorry.
As Florida coronavirus cases pass 4,000, state border checkpoints begin, vacation rentals halted, and you are not allowed to go into Florida.
No longer open for business.
Yep, so now we have state to state shutting down. The Kentucky governor said he was going to do that anyways because people were going from Kentucky into Tennessee because Tennessee's restaurants were not shutting down, so people were moving from Tennessee or from Kentucky to Tennessee to, freely go and get dinner, I guess.
Yeah.
Essentially putting people at risk in
Freedom
Tennessee.
Freedom ain't safe, man.
Like I said, man, and I'm a firm believer of freedom. But then, like I said, the hazmat person in me says, no, stay home. Do not go anywhere because it's
People
not
should be
safe.
encouraged to stay home. They should absolutely stay home if they can. But that should be their fucking choice. Other than that, as I said, it's the stupid people going out and infecting the other stupid people that went out.
Yeah, like I feel like Murphy's Law will handle that.
I mean, you can't regulate stupidity or morality.
I know.
Man.
I know, but like like I said, the hazmat CRVN guy in me says, no, lock everybody down. But it's just not, they're not telling us the truth, one. Two, it's a bioweapon. Like I've said many, many times before, you can go back to March 13th and start watching these videos from point A to point B and see that I didn't lie to you. I gave you the cleaning protocols of all this shit. And people aren't following them. One, because we don't have the supplies, which is kind of dumb as fuck. You'd think in a hospital they would have supplies for all occasions, not just,
it's not like we've never had a pandemic before ever in history.
Well, who should be protected? Like, these people should be protected no matter what, right? Because they're, one, yeah, they chose that job, but two, they're going above and beyond to help protect you by wearing the shit. Because if they have something and you're immunodeficient and something, they could infect you. So you would think that they would have cases of this shit stacked around, right? Two, it's just, what we got going on here? All right. Let me check this out. We got some dogs barking. Always check on what your dogs bark at, unless you have a Yelper.
Oh my God, my dog would bark at a guy across the street I can't even see. I'm tired of that shit.
Well, it's always good because it could be something. So, unless you have a Chihuahua that barks about everything.
No, my dog pretty much much a Chihuahua then, because he will.
She's not that bad.
Oh, it's bad. It is
I've,
bad.
If she hears the neighbor, she's just gonna bark.
Right, our neighbor is a pain in the ass, though.
yeah. So, but yeah, like I went through all the procedures for the CRBN stuff that you would do, and so you got to think about these people that are on the front lines of this disease. They got hypochondriacs coming into the emergency department,
Yeah.
and now they actually have a way to test them before they come into the emergency department, so that's good. Most health departments have set up outside the hospital, and they'll swab you, and so they'll know now. But I feel like those people, out of all people, should have the equipment that they need and should have to be fighting for, or being punished for wanting to wear a fucking mask because you have to go home. Those people still have people at home that they have to worry about, and they don't want to take it home to their kid, their grandma, their grandpa, their mother, their father. So I don't know why, they don't have these people protected. That's just the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
The dumbest shit.
And as far as they should have had this already,
Yeah, there shouldn't have been a shortage.
All they want that they should get priority buying it. Okay, I'll give you that. You should have priority buying it, but you should have already had this shit stockpiled. As I said, It's not the first time we've ever experienced a pandemic. The whole country doesn't prepare for shit, let alone the individual people. We've got corporations and even the United States government themselves scrambling because they never prepared for this shit.
So the trash industry braces for a deluge of infectious waste. So now that's another good thing. What do we do with the waste? I mean, that's medical waste processors are handling more masks and gowns while collectors worry about infected recycling and garbage. All right, so now's not the time to be a trash digger. So do not dig through the trash, people.
Dumpster diving.
Believe it or not, people will be doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm always up for a good dumpster dive, but now is not the time to do so. So if you think for some, that you're going to dig through medical waste to get masks and stuff to resell or something like that, there's a special place in hell for you, and probably in prison. So don't. Yeah, that's not a great idea to do that by any means. Because one, you're putting people at risk, and including yourself. Confirmed cases almost meaningless metric because it says it's almost a meaningless metric. It doesn't matter that the states have surpassed China this week because those numbers, 85,000 or 81,000 respectively, as of March 26, don't tell how many people actually become infected in either country, nor does it tell how fast the disease is spreading, since the only tiny portion of the population in the United States has been tested. So basically all they're saying is that doesn't mean shit. Well, it doesn't mean shit because...
Same here as what my friend in Arizona said. We don't know how many... Arizona doesn't have that many cases, but we don't test a lot of people. We test less people than most other states. So we probably have it a lot worse, but we don't know because you don't meet the criteria of getting tested.
Well, and not only that, but China's not going to be faithful with their information. So, NYPD has 12% of their NYPD force out sick. I know there was one guy that passed away. He was a DE agent for the New York Police Department. So that sucks. Sorry for his family. Unemployment shutdowns recipe for social unrest. So they're saying that because the people are shut down. Okay, so there's both sides of the fence on this. So like yesterday, I was watching the news, with the wife there for a minute, and there was GE in Kentucky had shut down. All right, well now GE is reopening, and those people that work at GE do not want to go back to work because the president said 2 weeks, right, or a month or whatever they changed it to now. So now GE has went in and done social distancing in their factory to put people back to work, and now they don't want to go back to work because they're afraid they're going to get sick.
Mm-hmm.
So, and these are not like people. I honestly believe that these are not people that are are lazy by any means because they've been longtime GE employees, but they also don't want to go back to work and get sick by someone walking by coughing. So, I mean, I don't know. There's a
If they're gonna still get money, I wouldn't either. It's when
but you're
it's
not going to get the same amount of money that you're working.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because these people make good money working there, you know. So I guess they just need to put out the real facts about the shit. Let's not sugarcoat it for people. Let's put out the real facts. Let's test everybody. I know the tests are not available, so but like this is the problem. There's not transparency when this comes to this. North Korea is still firing missiles. The little fat man is trying to get attention during the apocalypse by firing missiles into the Chinese Sea, or is it the what sea is it? Saudi Arabia intercepts a ballistic missile that was shot at them. Van Gogh painting stolen from the museum. Man in coronavirus quarantine runs into street naked and bites a woman to death. All right.
The zombie shit's coming back.
Get them zombie rounds ready. 35-year-old man who was quarantined. Let's see. 35-year-old man. Let's see. Where to go? It's, of course, going to have a million pop-ups. Junk ass. Police enforce new lockdown measures in India. A 35-year-old man is reported to have started tearing off his clothes after a week of self-isolation before running into the street and launching his attack on a sleeping woman. Sleeping elderly woman. Let's see. And this is full of
young bassholes.
A man who was forced to quarantine in his home over fears of coronavirus tore off his clothes, racing to the street naked after biting a sleeping elderly woman to death. It is claimed the man, named only by Manikidan, had flown home to India from Sri Lanka when he was ordered by authorities not to leave his house for 14 days. According to the reports in India, after a week of self-isolation, the 35-year-old man began ripping off his clothes. He hurtled into the street in Tamil Nadu. Is claiming he began running through the adjacent streets where he spotted an elder woman sleeping outside of her home. Indian News said he raced up to her before clamping down and biting her hard on the neck. So he essentially chewed out the bitch's jugular because he didn't want to stay home. So it's not safe to sleep on your porch in India because people are biting people's necks off. Let me see. Oh, I closed out the article.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, so that's the Sun. Let me copy the link to that, and then you can view that if you wish. I don't think there's any pictures or video, but hey. So anything we want to know about farming? Anybody want to talk about farming? Anything farming related? You want to
get her going now, huh? Figure out what zone you're in. Everybody in here should know what zone they're in, right? That's like step one.
Right. I posted up that. Let me see if I can find it again.
If you don't know what zone you're in, comment below and we'll help you out figure that out. But that is step one, as far as I'm aware. I'm a noob. I think I'm zone 9.
The plant hardiness. You think? See,
I'm pretty sure it's 9. Come on now.
All right, so you can, whenever you're allowed to go back to the store and buy craft supplies, you can buy one of those white poster boards, and at the top of that, you can write out your zone, right? And then you can go through and write out some of your plants that you're interested in planting, and then you can make a small map of whatever part of your property you're going to do. So you don't have to put everything in the same spot. You can do. So you have a shady spot, you have a sunny spot, right? Sometimes on your property. So you can put shade plants in one area, which you can find from your plant hardiness zone from that link that's posted right here. And anyways, you can go from that. So not all plants have to be planted in one spot. You don't have to have a typical garden like most people think. You see a garden, you see rows, and that's called monocropping. So you don't have to do that. You can plant different stuff in different corners of your property, which we do. You could do what's called a food forest. Essentially go out and find a place like they were talking about out in the desert where he goes and shoots. I guess you can hunt out there, but you're going to be
I'm
hunting.
hunting cardboard targets, bro.
So out there, there's some trees and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Mesquite trees and stuff. Am I correct?
Maybe.
Okay, so those places that you visit, you can make the seed bombs like I talked about, which is going to be a little bit different for your area than they would be mine. But you can find stuff that grows in your area, make these seed bombs, and then go out and make your own food forest and not be on your land.
Right.
Right, because you're not planting anything that's illegal. I mean, unless you do, then that's not my responsibility. But you can go out and plant these seed forests or food forests everywhere you go. So I know you go to a couple different places, right? So out there in that area, you could plant those seed bombs, just make them and throw them out in your little area. And then you know that if you go back out there, you've planted them, so you can check them. You don't have to do a up close inspection, but you can see that, hey, that tree right there that we parked at last time or something similar. And the more you throw out, the more you're helping out people, including yourself, because you're putting food via your route that you may travel one day to exit said area. So, yeah, it's a good idea to do. I don't think there's an article actually on them because I do shitty videos because I just hold my phone. But it's just, I know that I can do better videos, but I don't have time to really do that. So sorry until we get some actual income coming in to hire someone to do that. Well, I guess there's a cool little article on it. I don't know if it's. Let's see. So this is basically a little article on it. It's on Mother Earth News. But nurture your environment by planting seed bombs to help spread the stuff.
Yep.
Patriot in the Dark, good morning, sir.
Morning.
Talking about a little bit of farming, talking about a dude chewing somebody's throat out in India because he didn't like being quarantined. They look great to me. All right, so there's the link to seed bombs. I may do a video on them one day, but basically all you do is make some prepared soil nuggets. You can make them in a pie tin and just go out and throw them out along your routes that you drive daily, or go out and plant them on a trail that you like to hike or where you go shooting at, to give you essentially you're starting your own food forest, just not on your own property. So it's just another option. If you don't have property, you can go out and do this stuff on nature trails, hiking trails, shooting, where you go shooting at. I mean, like I said, I don't know what grows out there, so you have to check your own area. But
Not a whole lot. It is the desert.
Well, there's got to be something that's edible that you can grow in the desert, right?
Well, it's cactus. You can eat a lot of the cactus out here.
Yeah, what's the little fruit that they have on the cactus?
Yeah. I don't know. Prickly pears, yeah.
Yeah, prickly pears, yeah. So, I mean, if you have...
But they even fry up the paddle cactus. So,
really?
Yeah.
I've so
never had it, but supposedly.
If you can eat the prickly pear, then plant more prickly pear, because you could probably buy 500 seeds for $5, you know. And if you can have more growing there, it's more likely that you can go out there and get them. I know there's a lot. Olive trees do really well in climates like that.
We got all. I have enough olive trees around me that if I learned how to brine them, I'd be all right. I don't even need to grow that. That's definitely everywhere here. Also citrus. We have a lot of citrus as well around here.
So I guess it's called guerrilla gardening as well. I've never called it that, but there's a actual guerrillagardening.org where they actually I'm just finding this out right now as we're sharing. But there's a link that you can go to guerrillagardening.org. It says welcome. It says 2004 as the record of my illicit cultivation around London. They're growing at Arsenal. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. They're just going around their city, which is essentially what I'm telling you to do, and planting stuff that seed bomb. Yep, there. Seed bombing. So that's what I do. Drive around and throw them out throughout the countryside whenever I'm on my journeys. So it looks like they haven't posted up a whole lot of information since 2014, but it shows, that they're going around dropping all these seed bombs around, and I don't see it. Let's see, does it show how to make them? Getting started. Start a new dig. Join an exit. Okay, so that's just telling you how to enlist your communities to do community guards, basically, but everybody comes in and throws their own stuff in. They do have a seed bomb guide to their various forms and function. Classic clay seed ball. Okay, yep, that's a good article. That's better than me trying to go
We
through.
do have a community garden like 1 block away from us. Thought about going there, but at the same time, I don't know.
Well, here's
I'd rather do it here.
Here's the seed bomb part. It shows you how to make them. I guess they make seed guns too. So a mixture of clay soil for potter's powder, compost, and seeds in the ratio of 5:1 with water to bind. This is the most likely method. It was created by a Japanese biologist and farmer, Masanobu Fukioba. Easily made at home, cheap, and customized for your local conditions, molded in any shape, and all the ingredients are entirely natural. Yes, it's dirty, but who cares? You're doing. There's actually a short film on this link that I showed you, guerrillagardening.org, GG Seed Bombs. There's a documentary, and seed guns made in Christopher 1594 has molded them into revolvers, and you just take them out and throw them down on the ground. New York City, there was a green gorilla grenade. There's a downloadable PDF on there, so you can download complete instructions. So this is way better than anything I could have. Holy shit, that's a big grenade. Yeah. There's a kabloom, a seed bomb that looks like a giant. Yeah.
Why is it all like militaristic?
I don't know. Well, because they're called seed bombs, right? You're bombing. You're bombing an area, right? You're covering it with seeds, but I mean, in a real bomb, you would be covering it with shrapnel. But
Right. You're also not flying it over. You're dropping it off.
But I throw them out the window like grenades.
Would that be a seed IED?
Well, if you were planting it in the ground, yeah, I guess it could be a seed IED. But
I mean, that's the whole idea of a seed, ain't it? Planting it in the ground.
Yeah, but if you make the seed bombs, you can actually just throw them out like grenades. And like I do it while I'm driving. I just go down the road and throw them out.
Okay.
So I'm spreading my seed in a grenade form. A seed bomb. There's explosive eggs. They have oh, well, that's pretty cool. You can take chicken eggs and suck out the yolk and the white and then put seeds in. I don't know why you'd want to suck them out, but you could bust open the top of an egg and make seed explosive eggs. Seed balloons. Vanessa 611 is a very high-tech and industrious guerrilla gardener. In 2009, she developed a wide range of seed dispersal methods, include seed balloons, which are biodegradable rubber balloons filled with a few seeds and helium, held with a string, long-distance projectile that can traverse great heights, simple to make. So she's spreading those by letting them go, and then they pop in the upper atmosphere, and then the winds carry them back down to the ground.
That's more of a seed bomb, right?
That's a seed balloon. There's a seed pill. Another creation by Vanessa is a seed pill. This versatile micro seed bomb. These seeds and compost are packed in a biodegradable pill capsule, ready to be thrown down. So that's a cool way to keep it clean, I guess. These can be modified from the original design. Self-destructing piece of jewelry. The pill is glued together onto a metal pin and then falls off the moment of nature's choosing. The pill is designed to fracture on impact with the ground. Very handy and clean. So there you guys and gals go. Guerrilla gardening at its finest. Some better than I could put something together. And yeah, this right here is the link on how to make everything from the eggs. So basically, that's what I was talking about. You take them, throw them out. Like this chick's putting them in balloons, and then whenever they go up and pop, boom, the seeds fall back to the ground.
That's a good spread.
Yeah, right. I mean, random. You won't know where it's at to go back and get it.
No. Yeah.
But the pill thing was pretty cool. You could buy the capsules, pills, instead of putting, making clay pill. You can throw the pills out. You might get pulled over by the police and ask, why you got a bunch of pills that you're throwing out the window? Or you're trying to hide your drugs? But you cannot grow heroin in the ground. You can grow the plant that you make heroin from, and I guess you could spread seeds that way. But yeah, so we've learned our gardening stuff for the day.
If you have enough poppies, the U.S. government will come and help you grow them.
Yeah, and make a manufacturing place right at your front door, like they did in one of the stands, or the couple of the stands.
We're on drugs, people.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
Halliburton will build you a facility to process said heroin. Rhode Island using National Guard, state police to impose 14-day quarantine on all out-of-state citizens. Or visitors, sorry, not citizens. Coronavirus survivors in China testing positive again, igniting fears that it's possible a second wave of infections.
Yeah, just because you have it once don't mean you can't get it again. There's different strains of this shit.
There's 8 strains now that they've verified. So Trump orders GM to begin immediately manufacture ventilators as a spread of COVID-19 hospitalizes thousands of Americans. FDIC is urging Americans to keep their money in the banks. Practically an admission that you probably shouldn't. That's an admission that you should not.
Who's saying this?
FDIC is urging Americans. I'll post a link up. FDIC is urging Americans to keep their money in the banks, which means it's a sign not to keep your money in the bank because, yeah.
Yeah, because they want to have money that they can then steal from you.
Yeah, because all they have to do.
I preached this. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but yeah, anything that obviously you need money in the bank to pay bills that you pay online. Have that money in the bank. Whatever you pay online or with your credit card, that's a monthly bill. Any extra cash though, man, take that shit out. Take it out. There's no good reason to have it in a bank. If you have savings in the bank, get it out now. You're not going to be able to get it out later.
Do what Mr. Tommy Boy 9 does and stack silver to the fucking ceiling.
Yeah. I would
if
I could, but I can't find a fucking good deal to save my life right now.
Make sure you take pictures of said silver too, because if it burns up in a house fire, you're screwed if you're homeowners. Pennsylvania grocery store destroys $35,000 worth of food after a woman coughs on it. Is that the woman that they arrested? I mean, couldn't you just wash this shit down with bleach? I mean, that's what we had to do whenever we took on-rep on the ships. We would take, we'd have to wash all the fruits and vegetables and everything with bleach water to decontaminate it because a lot of the stuff is grown in human fecal matter overseas. Yeah. I mean, coronavirus leaves 1,000 scientists stranded in Antarctic. Closed borders prevent relief from coming in. Well, you could drop it in. That's why we have planes. Updated coronavirus projections for April, May, June, and July in the U.S. prepare for over 90,000 deaths in just the first wave. So they're saying that we're going to have 90,000 deaths in the first wave. So the other 8 strands of the virus is probably going to kill another 900,000 people. So yeah, there might not be a workforce in America.
Times. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, there's not going to be anyway. If we just go into the end of April, like they're suggesting, the only people that are still going to have companies out there are going to be the big ones,
or
the
farmers,
ones getting the government contracts right now to make respirators.
or farmers.
Yeah, farmers are always going to. There are.
Everybody,
healthcare workers are always going to have something to do too.
Yeah, everybody has to eat. So,
but there's going to be a lot. I mean, that's not all. That's not all America, right? So there's a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be homeless and on drugs and robbing and doing whatever they can to survive. And when they can't do anything to survive anymore, they'll be ending it. It's not going to be pretty. This is going to be devastating for America for years, decades to come.
I mean, I just don't understand, like, why you would paint yourself into a fucking corner. That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I've always been the person to, like, go out and, like I've talked to you about, like, find the money. It's not going to find you, so. But turning to drugs is not the fucking way.
Well, I mean, it's the same reason why people become alcoholic, right? It's the same. And some people will do that instead of drugs, right? But you're basically trying to escape reality at that point. And the reality is going to be pretty bad. You've lost your job, you've lost your home, you've lost your spouse, possibly. Maybe somebody in your family died of this. You don't have your business anymore. Everything you've saved for is gone. The bank won't give you your money. And your fucking $1,200 check still hasn't arrived. I mean,
I'm not even counting on that. I laugh because it's funny because I'm not counting on, like, I mean,
yeah.
that's a joke to think that fucking that's gonna help you. But I mean, right? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Not everybody's got their own property with a little bit of a farm. You
Well,
couldn't do that
yeah.
if you wanted to. There's not enough land out there to get everybody a plot of land, right? So, and there are people that live in the city and make their money, like in the tech industry or something like that. They live in an apartment and they live in the city and they make good money, but they put that money in the bank. They maybe even have a savings account or a 401k.
Yeah.
But all that shit that's not. They've been told, right? They've been told that that's where you want to do it. That's how the system works. But now with the banks telling you, oh yeah, please keep your money in our bank. If there's a run on the bank, you're out of that money. The stock market's been crashing, right? So people, they're not prepared for something like this. This is unprecedented. It's not like we just shut down the government all the time. So there are a lot of people that are going to be left holding the bag that, they didn't expect it. Shit, I didn't expect it, for crying out loud,
Yeah, I mean, but that's why we prepare, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? I hate the fucking word prepper, but, like, I mean, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's like why people prepare for, I mean, because it could be a tornado, it could be a pandemic, it could be the Fed collapses and takes all your money. It could be a lot of things. So.
Yeah, but you got to understand the prepper community is what, like 2% of the American population, if less.
Yeah, I know. I know. You don't have to tell me.
It's
like,
going to be a lot bigger now, but.
Right, but it's a day late and a dollar short. I mean, you can't run out and buy a bunch of dumb shit like, oh, let's go out and buy.
The government saying that they're going to
take your shit.
Government saying they're going to take your shit because you prep.
Yeah. Good luck with that. I mean, everybody's buying guns and shit now because they know what's up. So.
Yep.
You got a whole bunch of unexperienced gun owners that are going to try to use these guns with you can't go to the range and use them to sight them in or practice with them. So,
well, technically the ranges are still open
in some places. Yeah,
they've been deemed necessity. Yeah, most places, but yeah.
All right, well, we're at the 1 hour and 45-minute mark. So if we have any questions, comments, bitches, moans, complaints, Now's the time to ask them before we shut her down.
Yeah.
So, need to share my favorite video again today, so that this guy, Jake Knapp, don't be jealous of my EDC.
Oh, yeah.
I love this song. Let's see if it's not gonna fucking being retarded. So maybe I can copy the link up here.
No questions, still babysitting.
No questions.
Well, I
What?
hope your day gets better, Mr. Tommy Boy.
He's still babysitting the mailbox. He's not babysitting
Yep.
children. He's babysitting the mailbox.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, he's waiting.
Are
I
you
love
babysitting
those
because you
times when
wanna roll around in your silver, or are you babysitting it because somebody may steal your mail?
Well, shit, dude, I wouldn't want anybody stealing that either. That's the one package that you want to kind of babysit to make sure it arrives and you get it. Because if they put that on the wrong doorstep, good luck getting that back. I don't know, man. With this whole thing, I don't even know what I'm going to do with my check if I actually get one. We might not even get one, but because we're doing the math, and it depends on if they count me in the equation or not. If they don't account for me in the equation, then we're not getting shit. But at the same time, she is still working from home and still has a job. So as of right now,
Oh,
it's
you
not a
might not
big.
even get. You might. Well, she's still working from home. You might. Well, I don't know. I am not paying attention to it because
Well, it's
every
not
time.
if you have still. If it's not about if you don't have a job or not. It's if you make over a certain amount as a couple or as an individual. If they count her as an individual, then she's not going to get nothing. If they count us as a couple, because we do file as a couple, but I haven't had a job in a while, then if they count us as a couple, we'll get a check. If we don't get a check, we'll be all right. If we do get a check, I very much plan to put it into something real and hopefully something because we're going to have inflation. I just, that's guaranteed.
Of course, right.
Mr. Tommy Boy never knew when this FedEx truck is coming, and I have to sign for it. Okay, he's paying off this silver bill. Have to add to it. Oh, so he's gonna add to his silver, and that's a good, that's a good thought. If I can find a halfway decent deal on silver, I'll be adding to my silver too with the check that's coming in. If not, then I'll put it into something else that will at least last and be of some real value.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely spend it on. I feel like a lot of people are going to take it and go on vacations with it because they're like, oh, I don't have to pay my bills
Carnival
right now.
cruise.
But you know
Carnival
what I'm saying? Like, I
cruises.
feel like that's what's going to happen. Like, people are like, oh, there's no thing, I don't need to pay anything right now. So, and then we can just go on a vacation now that we have, this money. It's free money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
I
don't have
feel
no time for those people. Although I have been preaching. There's a lot of people that are going to be really hurt by this. If those people take that money and then blow it on something, that's at that point it's even more their fault. Obviously, maybe they should have prepared more, but people are in different circumstances. People have different priorities in life. Some want to have fancy cars and boats to show off. So yeah, they're going to be hurting. But now that you see what's going down, and then you take that money and blow that money on something stupid that's not going to last you, yeah, you deserve that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I feel like a lot of people, especially kids and stuff, they're thinking, oh, well, shit, we didn't get to go on our spring vacation because of this shit, or maybe we did. Let's just take another. So I feel like, that's going to be another.
Well, my daughter will probably spend it on more Lady Gaga merchandise or tattoos.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
I was not a good father, apparently.
You fucker. You fucker. You're a bad father. Yeah. So, another good channel that if you guys don't know about, so I'm going to try to start putting out channels here.
There you go. Shout outs.
So I'm not like a huge channel, but like they're gouging people now, so I stopped purchasing. Okay, that's good to
Yeah.
know. So this
$10
guy.
premiums.
So if you don't know, back in the day, we used to do a prepper show, um, a prepper radio show because YouTube was in its infancy, and this guy right here, Staying Awake 20, was my, what do you call that? I was his co-host, I guess, because he was the host of the show, and I was a
You're Ed
sit-in.
McMahon.
I was a sit-in, and we talked about prepping and stuff we could do. So I don't think the show's out there anymore. It might be somewhere out in YouTube land, but I don't know 100% certain. But he does a lot of good stuff. He's really a great guy to watch. And yeah, we used to do like a lot of shows. I was looking to see if there was any in here, but I even forget the damn show. It was like the Prepper Broadcasting Network or something back in the day.
I'll be right back.
All right. So 9 years ago, Neighborhood Survival. Yeah. Anyways, he's got a lot of good videos from back in the day. I mean, some of them go. Let's see. I'm back to 9 years so far. So, if there's anything you wanted to learn about survival, from a great dude, I would definitely suggest him. I don't see the links. It's probably back there somewhere. But yeah, we go back 10 years. As far as me and the Swede is what his handle is. He goes by Staying Awake 20 as his YouTube channel, but he is the Swede. Is what I know him by. So a good channel to check out. Staying Awake 20 videos. All right, so Mr. Tommy Boy, hopefully you have your mail and you can rest easy with your silver stacks. Sounds
Oh
like
yeah.
you're gonna have. Yeah, the FedEx truck is the only one that hasn't sent out an email. I got an email the other day from the US or UPS saying that they were not going to guarantee stuff anymore. So you're not guaranteed to get your stuff from the UPS because of the current situation. So looks like we're going to check out. It's almost the 2 hour mark. So thanks for
Patriot in the
everyone.
Dark just commented. A good one
I'm
too.
I missed the beginning of the show. The guerrilla gardening, is that for everyone? Yeah, just so you can. I Back in the day, like I was saying earlier, we Staying Awake 20. He goes by the Swede. That's what his call sign is. We used to talk about this stuff in our chats with. I'm pretty sure it was a Prepared Network broadcast or shit. It's been so long. It's been 15, 20 years since I started the whole preparing stuff. We used to actually do broadcast the radio show, and then we started doing YouTube. Then I closed that channel down and started up this one. But yeah, it's just basically say like if you have a rally point or a direction of travel, say like you have your 2 directions of travel to your bug out location, or your travel back and forth to work or whatever. You can put these seed bombs out on your way to work or your way to your bug out location or your way to your rally point, depending on how far your actual bug out location is, or your whatever your place in the woods where you're going to stay, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But basically, you just go and throw these seed bombs out everywhere, and over the years, you can keep throwing them out, and then those areas will be populated with the foods or vegetables or fruits. So you want to use perennial stuff. You can use companion planting for flowers, so that you'll have a good flower base there as well. So those can be used for medicinals, but you could also put tree seeds there. You could go put trees out. You could buy the bare root cuttings, and now's the time to put them out. But generally, the seed bombs are just easier to toss out the window while you're going down the road on your way to work. So it's basically just a way to populate the area that you might be rolling through. with stuff that you can use in case you need to come back to your location.
Right.
Is that good? Did I explain that good enough there? Is that
I think so.
too complicated? I mean, you know how it is. Like
I mean,
you
it's
told me.
random, right? It's personally, Irish would prefer that you know where you're putting it. We had the one person that had the helium balloons, which is great for the environment. But I mean, if you're doing it for a self beneficial thing where you can take advantage of it, you kind of want to know where you did that. Um, he was referencing that I go out to the desert to shoot because I don't like going to gun ranges, and that would be a perfect opportunity to throw a few seed bombs along the route, and that way, if I ever did need it and I knew that it was growing okay, I could check on it every time I go to the range or go out to the desert to shoot, stuff like that.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, you could put seeds of edibles, medicinals, flowers, whatever your choice is. So it's just good practice, anyways. Like, and if you put, say, you put a certain kind of flower, like say a flower that grows 22 inches or 24 inches, right? You can always know that if you just throw them out randomly along your route, that if you see that flower, then you can more than likely have a perennial vegetable there. Asparagus, if you like asparagus, you could do asparagus seeds. Anything that has a seed, you can throw it out. But if you use a marker plant, say like everywhere you throw out, I'm trying to think of a seed that everyone, say like a sunflower, but sunflowers aren't perennial in most places. But say if you had a sunflower in that seed bomb, so then everywhere that you drive down the road, and it was a perennial plant, but we're using the sunflower as it's probably perennial in some places, but the sunflower. So every time you've seen that sunflower on the side of the road, you would know that that was a seed bomb you threw out. So you would know that in that seed bomb, say like if you use a sunflower this year, then next year you would know that there's asparagus growing in that place because your sunflower was your perennial. Um, Echinacea is a good one. Echinacea propia. It's a big purple flower, and you can recognize it. So if you put Echinacea propia in there and say you put a perennial mint in there too, then you would know that every time you drove past there that there was a perennial mint, and you could use that to designate what you planted in that area with that seed bomb by one of the perennial flowers that you planted. So you could know that in this spot, um, you threw out uh, whatever perennial vegetables or whatever in your area. So some things are biennial, so it's not really considered a perennial, but a biennial is a plant that produces seeds and resows itself every year. As where a perennial forms a root or a rhizome and comes back every year from that. But a biennial will reseed itself. So as the wind blows, it'll blow, and replant itself.
Right, and you're gonna have to research what grows in your area best and all that.
Right.
So,
And that's what I use whenever I put that link up to the USDA plant hardiness thing. That's what you do with that. You just do a little bit of research. You could type in your zip code and figure out what grows good in your area. And your comment was rejected right now. Fairly common when sharing the link. You need to share the link in another way. So I'm getting cock blocked again.
yeah,
But it's up in the other links. There it goes. It came up.
yeah.
So that's the link that you need to look up. Anything that'll grow in your area, by all means, do it. I prefer perennials. You could do annuals, but in the annuals, you actually have to go collect it. So you could grow strawberry tomatoes in this way, or whatever. If you don't have stuff, like if you don't have land or a container garden that you can build. So, but you can go out and throw this stuff out and plant it and go collect the harvest off the side of the road, because not too many people are going to bitch unless you threw it in somebody's front yard and they have 400 zucchini growing in their front yard. So, but if you live, like I said, or
Whatever
you
you
have,
do, don't do eggplant.
or use the eggplant emoji along with
Yeah.
the googly eyes.
No, or the droplets of water.
All right. Well,
Uh,
it's been a pleasure. Thanks everybody for watching. As always, thumbs up, thumbs down, bitch moans, complaints, leave them in the comment section below. I'm Irish USMC Vet. That's Poison Stinger. Thanks for everybody for showing up today, and have a great day. Godspeed, Simplify. We'll catch you tomorrow, God willing. Everybody stay safe out there. Keep us posted.